What's up, people? This is DJ and you are watching FarsideTV, and we are just days away from this year's SummerSlam, one of the biggest events in WWE. If you don't know me, I'm DJ and or Cypher, depending on what you're watching, and this is FarsideTV. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more great videos like this. Now, these are my SummerSlam predictions. But we'll start off with the obvious one because I think we're going to start off with this match first, and that's Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. Now, I don't know if y'all been watching lately, but the rivalry has actually been somewhat exciting lately. I didn't know how they were going to pull it off. I thought we were waiting for Gunther to go ahead and get crowned as the new World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam. But the way things have been picking up and building, I'm not really sure who's going to win. They're really pushing Damian Priest as a babyface, and I don't really know what's going on with the Judgment Day, but it seems like he's definitely stepping away from it. Now, the people are not only popping for Damian Priest now, but he's actually getting a good rub from other superstars. And Gunther is one that's really egging on that heel factor. I thought Gunther would get the pop and get cheered against Damian, but they played the opposite role in that area. So we got Gunther taking on the role of Triple H, and Damian Priest taking on the role of Booker T. From the feud they had back in the day for WrestleMania 19, when Triple H pretty much sold Booker T, he had no business having this championship or even being considered to be a contender for this championship based on who he was and his demographic. Now that's where we're going with this Damian Priest and Gunther storyline. So that's where they're going, and that's easily a way to get you a good babyface. So Damian Priest is really building up to where I think, based on other factors, we may have a retain. Here's why. I originally thought Gunther was going to win because everybody was pressing for him to win the World Heavyweight Championship and probably either go against Cody later or not. That's my thing. We have to go back and forth with it because Survivor Series is coming up, and we don't really know what's going on because they keep changing things every year. But we know for sure there's a War Games happening. But I mean, we know for sure there's a champion versus champion thing happening because they can't stray away from that. It's tradition, right? So what happened years ago was when AJ Styles went up against Brock Lesnar in 2017. At Survivor Series, champion versus champion. Well, we couldn't repeat that. That'd be weird. So when the same champions were champion the next year, they had switched things up a bit. So that's why you got Daniel Bryan beat AJ Styles like a few weeks before that Survivor Series, and he went up against Brock Lesnar. So they didn't want to have to do a repeat. They wanted to have something different. Same thing this year. If Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight Championship and Cody Rhodes is still WWE champion, which I'm sure he will be, then we'll have a rematch between those two. And not just a regular rematch. I mean, they fought each other within a year. And who wants to see that? Unless you're going for a, you know what I'm saying, I've gotten this much better, now I can contend with you thing. But we've already seen Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. We haven't seen Cody Rhodes and Gunther. So that's a good reason why they may change hands and have Gunther be the new World Heavyweight Champion, just so they can get a different match for Survivor Series. Because let's be real, Cody's not losing that belt anytime soon. So whoever goes against Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series, it has to be something fresh and something different. So that's why I'm thinking it might be Gunther, but at the same time, Damian Priest is unfinished business with the Judgment Day. And speaking of Finn, yes, Finn Balor has yet to challenge Damian Priest for that belt, and we can see how things are starting to melt from within the Judgment Day. So we still need that match. So are we going to get it later or now? Because we all know for sure, I doubt Damian Priest is getting this world title again. He had this run. He had the belt for like 4 months now. So it's a pretty good run. Usually a lot of champions lose at SummerSlam after they won it at Mania. That's just kind of how tradition goes if you're not going for a long reign. So it's kind of 50-50, but Damian Priest is just now starting to get a pop, starting now to get a buzz. Maybe Judgment Day might interfere and cost Damian Priest. Maybe we can get that Damian Priest and Finn Balor rivalry without the belt. And that's always a possibility too, because I mean, it's not like we're going to make Finn Balor World Heavyweight Champion. Even though he should have been, we're not going to do it. It's way too late. It's way too late. So I can see them more so having a grudge match as opposed to a World Heavyweight Championship match. So maybe I might be changing my mind. Maybe Gunther might win this. I just don't know. We have to see. But odds on, I'll say, considering he has beaten Seth Rollins, or I'll say survived Seth Rollins and Jey Uso and others to retain that belt, I'd say that maybe he just might beat Gunther. I don't know. We need a big change at SummerSlam, so we might get that at SummerSlam. I just don't know. I'll just cross my fingers and say Damian Priest retains. Even though I'm thinking Gunther might pull something out, maybe it's not time. I don't know. We might have to give it to Gunther at Mania. I don't know. We just have to see. But Damian Priest gets my vote for the winner of that match. Next, let's see what's going on with, I don't know, Nia Jax and Bayley, right? So Bayley has had, to me, a kind of a lackluster run as women's WWE champion. And it's not really her fault. She's been doing her thing. She's been getting better in the ring, getting back to her old roots, keeping herself up, getting really nice with the fans. Like, she's been doing her thing individually. It's just her feuds have been kind of lackluster and or nothing, pretty small, nothing really feast on. Kind of like Rhea Ripley did at first. Before she finally relinquished her championship. It was kind of a lackluster run because she didn't have too many people in her league to compete against. So we're facing the same problem with Bayley. Only difference is now we have a Queen Nia Jax facing her. Now, do I think Nia Jax is going to get the belt? Now, this is where it gets tricky because Tiffany Stratton will be around and she will cash in her Money in the Bank. I know what's happening. It's got to, because we already killed off the men's Money in the Bank. So why would we have the women's Money in the Bank around? We're going to kill that off too at SummerSlam. And Tiffany Stratton's either going to cash in on Bayley and win, or cash in on Nia Jax and win. So we kind of see where we're going with it. If we're going to have Bayley beat Nia Jax and then Tiffany Stratton beat Bayley to get that, then we're going to have a nice Tiffany Stratton Bayley feud. But if we go the other way and had Nia Jax beat Bayley, then we had Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, which the only thing that would really do is really give Tiffany Stratton that big babyface push that they've been kind of clamoring for. People still like Tiffy time. People still chant for it at the pay-per-views. I can't call them pay-per-views or PLEs. I don't know. I just call them whatever, PPVs, whatever. She's definitely getting that pop. So it kind of doesn't matter as long as we have Tiffany Stratton cash in and get that belt at the end. But I wholeheartedly think, based on the build, that Bayley is probably going to retain against Nia Jax somehow. Maybe with interference from Tiffany inadvertently, but then cash in on Bayley and take that belt home. Next, we have Logan Paul and LA Knight, for the US belt. Who's going to win that? Well, WWE has this way of making their hometown heroes lose. So I'm guessing it's going to be a big grandiose entrance for Paul, and they even said on SmackDown that it's going to be some type of big thing. So I already predicted it. It's Logan Paul, for one. He has like one of the flashiest entrances at these PLEs. And the fact that he's going to be in his hometown, I knew he was going to go all out. So he pretty much confirmed it on SmackDown. So LA Knight has yet to win the singles championship in their WWE. And he definitely needs it. It's well overdue. He didn't get it since people have been wanting him there. He wasn't at the WrestleMania before, and this past year's WrestleMania, he beat AJ Styles. We need LA Knight to get this belt. So, is Logan Paul going to lose? Yes, he's going to lose in his hometown, because that's what WWE does. You don't really get the big celebration hometown thing like that for real. Sometimes, but not often. And we're definitely going to get Logan Paul beat 10 by LA Knight. LA Knight's going to get that belt. It's the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Why not have LA Knight get it? It makes sense. He deserves it. It's been long overdue. It's going to be a big fight, big battle, but Logan Paul will ultimately lose that belt, and that'll be our big title change. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, or whatever it's called. I don't know. See, here's the thing. As much as we would love for Rhea Ripley to win, she's already beaten Liv, and Liv has had that belt mainly to focus around Dominic, so she hasn't had it for long. She took it from Becky. Becky's not here. It's kind of by default. We're waiting for Rhea to come back. Rhea's back, and Dom is back with her and her good graces. So it's kind of hard to say. Other than I would assume Liv would win. I think Liv Morgan probably has a better chance of beating Rhea Ripley, just to have the storyline kind of flush out, because we really didn't get a chance for it to flush out like that. Rhea just came back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Rhea Ripley getting the belt right back like that. I see Liv Morgan pulling up upset, and maybe the complete destruction of the Judgment Day. Maybe Dominic might help Liv Morgan retain. We got Damian Priest retaining his belt. We got the complete dissemblation of the Judgment Day. I'm thinking Liv Morgan's going to retain somehow. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. Who's going to win that? Well, it has no stakes and it has no title, so that's a great thing. That's one. Two, I think Seth is going to play fair at first and maybe a little tidbits in between, getting two with each guy, but ultimately he may get Claymored accidentally by Drew McIntyre if CM Punk gets out the way, and that will cause Seth Rollins to stomp McIntyre and or kick him, whatever. CM Punk pulls out the GTS, gets the victory, and then right after Seth Rollins beats up CM Punk, thus kicking off their feud. So I think CM Punk's going to win because of course he has to, and Seth Rollins is going to beat up CM Punk right after, and then that's going to kick off the feud they never got to do. So yeah, I can definitely see that. So that one's kind of easy for me. I'm just hoping it's a great match because that's really all I want, is there to be a great match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. That's really all. I'm sorry, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. That's really all I can ask for. And of course, eventually CM Punk and Seth Rollins. But that's all I'm asking for, is for CM Punk to really show out, show up. He looks like he's so much better now. Let's see a great match. Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. Come on, man. Sami Zayn already won last time, and I don't think he really should have won last time, but he did. And Braun Breaker is that guy. He's beating up everybody. He's beating up Ilya. He's beating up Sami. He spears him weekly. SummerSlam is the second biggest event for WWE. You have a new breakout star. He's 14 years younger than Sami Zayn. So why would somebody 14 years his senior beat him again? I know it's an experience thing, but at the same time, this guy is so much faster, stronger, more athletic than Sami Zayn. It's insane. He's more stronger, faster, and athletic than half the roster, if not most of them. The guy is a freak. Let him get the belt. Team Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Champion. Let's go. Which leads to the main event, Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes. I don't think any of us feel like Solo Sikoa is going to win, and I think they're going to give us what we wanted at the end for that reason, because nobody believes that Solo Sikoa is going to win. Even Cody Rhodes has to amp up the match and amp up his competitor because it's nothing believable. Nobody believes Solo's going to beat Cody for the belt. I don't care if everybody from the Fatu family jump in. Cody's not losing that belt. It's not going to happen. But I can tell you how it's going to end. So Cody Rhodes will retain. There will be interference from all sides. There will be Kevin Owens and Randy Orton returning and beating up the Bloodline, because those two members, Tongaloa and golly, I don't know his name. But basically, the other two are going to come back. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are going to come back, interfere with Cody. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to come back to fight them. And then somehow Tama Tonga is going to not be hurt anymore with his eye. He's going to jump in, and it's going to be 4-on-3. Here's what I need to happen at SummerSlam. We need one person to come back and even the odds to where it's a stalemate. But I only want it to be one person if it's the person. If it's not the person, then it's going to mess things up. So this is what I think it should be. I think Jimmy Uso should return and even the odds to where it is that 4-on-4 and everybody gets beat up like that. That's what I think. They should definitely have Jimmy Uso return. And then after Jimmy Uso has no chance against them, because he was a comic character before he left. So it won't be bad if he makes his big return, fights, but then gets beat up inevitably. It's fine. It won't hurt him. People get it. It's just that it should be him making his return. And then once they start beating up everybody again, the Bloodline, that's when we get our tribal chief, the real one, Roman Reigns, returning to end it all and to even the odds, or just making an appearance at the end at the ramp or something. Just some type of appearance from Roman Reigns. That's what we need. Solo Sikoa pretty much confirmed it when he called him out on SmackDown. Basically just said, and if Roman got a problem with it, he know where to find me. Well, you just told us what to do. You told us what's going to happen. You're telling us that Roman Reigns will appear at SummerSlam, which, well, thank you. But I was really hoping that'd be like a surprise nobody was expecting or talking about. But definitely expect that Roman Reigns will be there at SummerSlam in some facet, which I think will probably just be at the very end at the ramp, and it just closes the show. That's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, and the reason why I say it like that, because think about it. What if Roman Reigns came back by himself and there's no Jimmy? It's going to be that much less interesting if Jimmy comes back after Roman, because Roman's the bigger star. So we kind of need Roman to be last. So why not have Jimmy come in with Roman the same night? I think that would work out better. The only other way that could work out the same is if Roman Reigns made his return and then Jimmy didn't come back for months after that either. Like, he stayed gone. That's the only way. Because the only way I can see that happening is if Roman Reigns comes back at SummerSlam, evens the odds, finishes that up, and then, I don't know, we get another Bloodline member, or not another Bloodline member, but Kevin Owens and Randy Orton aren't going to help Roman Reigns and Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Because of course they wouldn't. They hate them. You know what I mean? They're Bloodline. So only way I can see that happening is because we need it to make sense. We need the Bloodline to the OG Bloodline to kind of struggle to get back to where they were, right? So we got Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, right? Over here we have Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Okay. The only way you can do that is to slowly recruit Jey Uso to get back with them. So there's really just those three. Only thing you can do after that is add Zilla, which he may come by Survivor Series, and then it'll be that 4-on-4. Or unless we get The Rock to come back somehow and then make it 4-on-4. Either way, you can have Jimmy come back by Survivor Series. If that's not the case, I don't know how they would play that, but I would just bring them back to both of them the same day if I played it. So that was my predictions for SummerSlam. I'll see y'all then. It's this Saturday. I'll be streaming. I will stream SummerSlam live, so come around the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to your new home, because that's where I'm going to be at. And if you've been around, I can't wait to see you there so we can chop it up about SummerSlam. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all then. Those are my predictions. And y'all have a good week. I'll see y'all at the Slam of the Summers. Peace.